when you go into the final against one of the favorites for the World Championship, right? One of those that are considered to be the best player in the world. We talked together yesterday and he told me that I felt.
And here, I think we're ready for the ceremony. Let's give it up for your new Speed Duel World Champion, and take your way.
Attention duelists, we have another world champion! Your new Speed Duel YuGiOh Duel Links champion is Sniffer!
Por lo menos a ver si llegamos para la final de Master. Esa es la que me interesa. Por esto.
Congratulations, Snippers. This clearly meant a lot to you. We saw the emotion on your face the second you managed to win. Tell us how you're feeling.
ございます。今の気持ちを伝えてください。
It is undescribable. It is really undescribable. I never in my life would have expected to get here. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm so happy.
Se puede ver.
しがたいぐらい嬉しいです。この場に来れる、ここまで到達できるとは思っていませんでした。
Now we know that your brother didn't make it through to the Master Duel final, but that means there is a world champion in the family. Do you hope that your brother is proud of you right now?
Oh, I know he is. And after he lost to a very unfortunate mistake, I think it was destiny, because in the last game, it is the most time-intensive matchup in the entire game. So the second I queued into the game, I was like, Chris, this is for you. I'm gonna play as fast as I can. I'm not gonna make that mistake.
His brother didn't get the final, but he's now the world champion.
そうですね。彼の兄弟がチャンピオンシップに参加できなかったのですが、その代わりに勝てて嬉しいとのことです。
Now finally, is there anybody you would like to shout out, anybody you would like to thank now that you are the world champion?
なんか感謝の気持ちを伝えたい方はいますでしょうか。
The entire YuGiOh community, everyone I've met over these years, this would not have been possible without all of you. Shout outs to my brother. Thank you to the Talks group chats. Thank you to everyone who supported me on this journey. Thank you to the people who I tested with for this World Championship. It's because of all of you.
Well, congratulations, Snippers. One more time, come and lift your trophy. Your new YuGiOh Duel Links Speed Duel Champion! Now, for those of you at home who are also playing YuGiOh Duel Links,
se paró la de Duel Links. Mientras tanto, en TCG,
that means that no matter what happens, especially if you have been playing, on the bubble, let's say, for a long time.
Anunciaron que para Duel Links va a tener el Dragon Master Knight y para el Speed Duel el FGD.
You just have, dinner, shower, and then you got a few.
Ok, bueno. Intentarlo vale la pena. Tiene tirones, aunque tiene sentido porque lo de los tirones, el recién. Eso es recién.
Coming on September 30th.
A ver, vamos a intentar una cosa.
So that is it right now for our duel.
Tengo mi teléfono en mis manos.
Leonard and myself, Sebastian, in the analysis corner. We watched this final. What an intense one it was.
Incroyable. I did not think Sniffers could pull it off against basically the master of Speed Duel Links, right? This was absolutely incredible. What a win and what a mirror match in the end as well.
And honestly, we're breaking it down quickly here for you. So immediately, let's get the first highlight rolling as we're just browsing through them. It went all the way into the 5th game, so we have plenty of highlights prepared. First game immediately was the game where we saw the Sky Striker deck being paired up against the Resonator deck. And in that scenario, we have here right now that the Sky Striker deck just played for a full combo Resonator field.
I will just say, after seeing Karma 3 go off like that with the Sky Striker cards, just taking apart this field and setting up the best field you could do with Sky Strikers afterwards,
I was
thought
impressed.
this was just over. I thought you can't recover from this as Shinofi. So, well, that was crazy. Not a good start for Sniffers.
And we did see here the finishing move, double Widow Anchor to take both of these strong monsters from the opponent, from Sniffers away, and using them against him to go ahead and therefore end game number 1 in the favor of Karma Free. And there we have it. They summoned Shizuku, didn't really matter to be fair, but still we went for the battle damage, as we can clearly see here.
So important in Speed Duel Links to just make your entire turn, because if something happens, you don't have a mate phase 2. Therefore, summoning Shizuku there, absolutely valid. Don't see that often.
Indeed, and as I promised you, we are just going through the highlights here quickly. So next highlight, immediately firing, obviously, from game number 2. And in game number 2, we saw now different decks being used. Clearly, obviously, as that is the World Championship format. And we have Ancient Gear versus the Utopia deck actually on Sniffer's side.
Claro, porque está automatizado. Claro, está por la calidad. Intenta subirlo a 720. Seguramente baja por la calidad. Si se ve tironeado, puede ser por eso.
Win in one turn, getting you a fusion monster possibly, and then attacking multiple times. But that did not work out the way Karma planned it. And actually, the Utopia deck getting Sniffers the first W on the board.
Indeed, and that is the next highlight. We did not have success with the Ancient Gear deck. So next highlight shows how then it goes back to Sniffers. And Sniffers gets himself on the board there in this final match. With we see here Astral, Topia, and shortly after, and both players basically at that point already knowing it, we are heading into the battle phase where Sniffers on his way to become the world champion of Speed Duel. For the game here with Utopia. Lightning saving game number 2. But as I promised, we keep on rolling. Sniffers win that animation, gave him some safety, gave him some good
one
moods.
Was crazy as well. That was like one of the sickest games I've ever seen, and I thought that, come on, maybe in deck building.
Let's look at
the next highlight actually. This was completely wild. We thought that
un poco de delay entre tiempo de A o B puede ser por el tema de que estoy haciendo tiempo.
Non-fusion area, as well as magic deflector, and then all of a sudden we got into a complete stalemate.
It was a really funny one, as we can see here. There is all of a sudden all of those Speedroid monsters being strong on the field. As you mentioned, it's also actually just a real strong test. And you see Sniffers is leaning back and forth. And here is the important moment where all of a sudden the Mirror Swords Knight came back to the field. And then for so many turns in a row, Mirror Swords Knight, as an illusion monster, sometimes people forget that, was able to just stall some time for Sniffers. And he kept on summoning illusion monsters. Felt like there was no answer to Speedroid.
Yeah, definitely, but there was one. Let's look at the next clip. Actually, there was one good attempt to pick away the field, but then later on you could actually see, this is I think not the clip that we thought it was going to be.
There it is. There it is, of course it is. Oh wait, that is the moment where the Mirror Swords Knight actually is going to be the stalemate situation. Mirror Swords Knight chilling on the field, as we have just explained in the last highlight. And actually, there we have it. For multiple turns, passing back and forth. We summoned the Nightmare Apprentice, also, of course, being an illusion monster. And we just had that weird situation where it just didn't go back and forth. And we were already counting deck cards for both players, seeing maybe a possible outcome through deck outcoming. But the high-speed droid Clear Wing Rider then in the end was the tool to make it happen for Karma Free. rolling the die.
Here's my question. Is the Clearwing rider the dragon in the back, or is it actually the motorcycle?
I only know he's riding. That's what I can tell you.
I think since it's a speed droid, it's gonna be the
F5, and that 5 made sure that with enough monsters in the graveyard, we can make sure to just destroy all the monsters on the field. Which we see it. The 5 was rolled, and there is where Sniffer's also in his check. This was overdue. I was really never had in this game. And this is where then we made sure to close it out. Next highlight, because this of course sealed game number 3. Sniff is down 2-1. It didn't look good for him, but game number 4 was impressive from Sniffer's side. We saw he brought all of a sudden the Despia deck, and he summoned out the first Dark Lord with his Branded in red, and that card is crazy.
This monster is just destroying everything on the opponent's side of the field. In this case, it was just the entire field of Karma 3, and having 4,000 attack points actually really do help. Also, funnily enough, doing this, of course, before Book of Eclipse grants Karma 2 new draws did not happen. Then, of course, also to add insult to injury, Allure of Darkness, drawing Despian Tragedy from nowhere, even though the game was basically already over, and that set us up for an amazing...
Hold on, though. We are in the final game, and we had the situation where both of the players basically left their best deck, left their Shaddoll deck for the last game, and this was so smart because he actually used the Nightmare Unicorn on his first turn to put itself back into the action deck.
It is the absolute meme play of YuGiOh to activate Nightmare Unicorn and shuffle itself back into the deck, and that was the correct play. Why you're asking? Because Shadow Fusion, to be completely insane and send 2 monsters from the deck, needs to have an extra monster on the opposing side of the field that was summoned from there as well. So if you're shuffling back your Unicorn, there is nothing. You are set up with the Schism as well. Fantastic plays by Sniffers.
Yes, and therefore he then in that game got more and more ahead, and there we also see how he really then in the end had all of the strong monsters on the field. Life points are really reduced on the side of Karma 3. We go for Elshador winner basically as we finish pushing thing, and you can see it. He's already playing. Look into Sniffer's face cam there. He knows it's over. This is just a Shaddoll Dragon. It doesn't really matter. And that is our new and deserved world champion of the Speed Duel Duel Links category. There we have them, basically showing the emotion to the world.
Incredible. One of the 2 brothers that entered the tournament in different games actually managed to pull it off and took the win to Germany. Sniffers, fantastic performance over the entire tournament and beat the tournament favorite in a thrilling Game 5 here in the Grand Finals.
Of course, and that was the Speed Duel category. Of course, we have one very important match remaining for the day. Still, the Master Duel Finals are left, so don't go anywhere, as the Master Duel Finals will be the next thing on the menu, and we will see you back live shortly after.
Miren toda esa cantidad de jugadores que van. Ahí está Jesse Cotton perdiendo. Ese fue del día anterior, que nosotros nos quedamos hasta las 12. Sí, esto fue lo que vimos nosotros. Y acá están en publicidad del sistema de streaming. Ahí está. Jugadores de TCG. Estos tienen... Esto que tiene raro. Todos bienvenidos YouTube de momento. Sí. Bueno, ahora estoy viendo que está andando bien. O sea, las tasas de bits están dando bien y la pérdida es de 0,6 porque estoy retransmitiendo al mismo tiempo. Bueno. Lo del comercial de Nike.
He wasn't supposed to win. Wasn't the favorite.
Ahora están retransmitiendo el comercial de Nike para Yonochi Katsuya, es decir, Joey Wheeler.
Hey, listen to me. I say talk is cheap. I fought my hardest to get where I am right now, and I never let anyone get the best of me, even when all hope seemed
Jonas
so why should I start now? The whole gang's rooting for me. And with my friends behind me, there's no way I can lose. What I'm fighting for, I got that part down. Here I go. It's all or nothing.
Cuando anuncie bien, ahí veamos cómo anda.
So, what's inside this thing? Come on, Joey needs a new pair of shoes.
¡Un nuevo par de... ¡Ah, ya entendí el chiste!
Get a load of that thing, guys.
Venía el chiste de la traducción en inglés de todas las veces que Joey usaba habilidad de gambling. Decía, por favor, Joey tiene que comprarse un nuevo par de zapatillas. Ay, Dios mío, la publicidad se les ocurrió bien. Voy a admitirlo, eso es marketing de primera. Konami. En Japón me gusta más.
Air Max 95.
95. Más o menos la época del... no del juego, de 96.
Juego de palabras.
Sí. The Hunters, referencia a Joshua Smith.
Made for the best. Made for who you can be.
Me digo que ya está en la última ronda de TCG. Creo que vamos a estar justineados para la última ronda de TCG y la última ronda de la final de Master Duel.
Yeah,
only time can tell.
Definitely. I'm just excited. I can't believe we're already here in round number 7. It felt like the day just started. I mean, that's what happens when you're watching incredible.
Yes, indeed we do, and we have two fantastic teams here for you today. Of course, you've seen both of them compete earlier on in the day, and it is down to Ragnarok and Chiba Corp here.
Chiba Corp versus Team Ragnarok, que son los ganadores de ambos grupos.
Master Duel category.
Both of these teams have proven to be few of the best in the world. We have seen those captains really duke it out there, leading their teams, leading their strategies, being motivational, rocks, solid rocks for their teams when it looked bad, because all of those teams were on the brink of elimination as well in the last match. They were telling their teammates, hey, we can still do this, play your best Yu-Gi-Oh! And they did.
And this is what those 3v3 tournaments are about. Sometimes a player has a bad stretch, but then it's for another teammate to cover up and still keep the team going. And that's what both teams were able to do in the end. And therefore, they're rightfully so our two teams in the finals, meeting against each other. And nicely enough, they are actually good friends as well.
Yes, indeed. And just on the topic of these players being good friends, of course, you have missed Luca and Nesh having competed together and against each other for so long domestically within Europe and beyond now. They are so good at this game and are competing in those 3v3 tournaments.
Me alegro. Todo está bien para tener dos al mismo tiempo.
And while a little bit less well known in regards to their 3v3 results, the individual stars
por mientras lo estoy viendo entre ambos acá con el teléfono a ver si hay algún problema o
Absolutely, and even the matches have a personal flavor there. If you're thinking that we're going to see a Pac versus Nash in Worlds Finals, that is just absolutely poetic.
Beautiful. Indeed, those two friends going up against each other. They have been working so hard for this, both celebrating their first World Championship entry, actually, and now immediately being in the finals of that is crazy good.
Goats.
Yep, fantastic minds for the game, fantastic hands for the game too, of course, navigating through a very
punishing timer as you saw in Ragnarok's semi-finals victory.
Yep, definitely. Chris Thomas, before his brother won the World Championship, he timed out while being on his last interruption, taking away an access code talker with the Firewall Dragon effect. Team Ragnarok thought they were out of the tournament. This was going to be the end of their run. But then the field of Chris just exploded. The timer was gone.
Yo puse el delay de 10 segundos para que esté estable.
You have to really think it through, but you also
No
have to be
tanto,
wary of the timer.
Algo más ajustable para que por lo menos pueda estar bien mientras estoy viendo. Para los de YouTube, perdonen, pero esto es un experimento también.
Sometimes it takes a little longer because you are talking about things, you're checking back with your team captain, you're like, should I do this or should I rather go this route? And they took a little too long and therefore lost that game.
And that is something I want to bring up because Chiba Corp are such a new team by comparison. We thought that they'd be communicating non-stop, and of course Park renowned for his mind for the game and his communication about it, and yet now look at them making it all the way here despite how new they were to coming together as a trio here.
I mean, sometimes it's also maybe enough to be incredible individual players, right? Especially if you are being able to win games on your own, you are taking some pressure off of your teammates as well. That can definitely help you if your teammates are worried about your game and you can be like, hey, focus on your own stuff, I got this.
Yes, indeed, and these players certainly did have this throughout this tournament thus far, but let's hear it from Ed as he introduces them.
Attention duelists! It's time for
Empezó.
one more final today as part of your coverage for the YuGiOh World Championship Series 2025. It's time to crown our YuGiOh Master Duel champions. So, let's introduce your teams. Your blue team from North America, Chiba Corp. And your red team from Europe, Ragnarok! Both teams are joining me on stage right now. Gentlemen, let's see a friendly handshake. I want to see some great play happening. One chance for you guys. One of you will make it to the final.
Están los que se la subieron a arriesgar para llegar a la final. No es joda. Los de Ragnarok se rompieron el lomo con los Atlantes, más que nada. Es lo que les ha dado la ventaja.
This champion. One more final for you guys today as part of your coverage. So, with that in mind, I'm going to hand you back over to your beautiful casters who are going to take you through one more grand final here at the YuGiOh World Championship Series 2025. Boys, take it away.
Thank you, Ed. Give it up for our finalists of the Master Duel category. This was an incredible group hug as well. I was a bit afraid that they were going to lose their teammates and they were going to arrange in the wrong order again.
Yeah, honestly, I think Ed said they should do a handshake, but it really was a group hug, as you said, and that shows you they're all friends. But now they are divided into two teams, and I'm sure both of them will fight hard to become the new Master Duel World Champions.
Yep, and judging by the sound of the audience,
claro, revisa si funciona el Social Ninja en YouTube.
Supported by so many people here, so many people all over the world. Park's viewers, you have the viewers, the supporters, the friends of Mist, Joey, Enzo, Luca, and Nesh all coming together to support these players. And yet it's only 3 of those 6 that will walk away victorious today.
And they don't only have friends, they also have fans, because these are our YuGiOh superstars. Everyone in the game who's entered a tournament knows about these names, at least by now.
Absolutely, and I think they have a solid lineup for their team, and they're kind of similar in that regard. Accomplished players, kind of the same as Joey on the other side. And then you have the upcomer. You have, on the one hand, in Team Chiba Corp, you do have the young Enzo Fialos really making a name for himself, but still being young. And on the other hand, you have Luca Foyan, sort of being the same. And then on the other hand, you have the content creators and names in the community.
Wilfredo
Nash, of course, for Team Ragnarok, and on the other hand,
vamos a ver la final directamente.
For Team Chibacorp.
Yeah, and I've praised
Perdonen para lo de TCG, pero ya la semana que mañana termina llegaría la final en los Knockout. Ahí veremos quiénes pasan a top.
By not mentioning him too, of course, we haven't seen too much of the Goblin Biker memento from any of these other memento players in the tournament, and yet here he is rocking up with it.
El comando de voice, el que usamos para el bot del bot.
Much better if you're playing Grand Entrance as well in your deck. It's just almost a detonator out. It's amazing. But we've also talked about how great.
Lo que yo quería que probara ese es nuestro comando de voz. El voice si funciona en YouTube. Eso es lo que quería ver.
33% everyone on building the decks. They have all worked on equal parts
Nuestro Ignis chat voice.
Now they managed to qualify as a team finally. After 2 years of hard work, they are sitting in the finals after this hard-beat semi-final. Is it their time to win?
Yes, indeed, it could very well be, especially given, again, as you mentioned earlier in the day, missed. He qualified through the Duelist Cup, not the regional qualifier. He has triumphed in an international tournament before, come out ahead of every Master Duel player in the world, and that followed up by Joey putting on one of the most dominant domestic performances by pulling ahead of the crowd in the North American regional qualifier.
Oh yes, absolutely. And I'm wondering who at home has cheered for those as their cheer for the champion campaign heroes in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Actually, here on the Castles booth, it is quite ironic that both of us have voted for one of them actually in that.
I mean, we were totally unbiased going into the tournament, but of course a few free gems, why not try and get the chance? And I will say, I voted for Ragnarok.
Muy bien, los de Ragnarok ya están en su lugar. Y los de Chibacorp. Me encanta que los ponen en una cabina aparte, para más o menos aislarlo del ruido. Más bien eso está bien para este tipo de competencias de 3 vs 3. Algo que me hubiera gustado, que se vea la pantalla y toda la partida.
All other competitors in their way, and now they face off against each other one final time here at the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2025.
It doesn't shock me that 2 teams out of the group of horror basically actually make it through the semifinals. This group was to be feared. 2 teams exited, and then they also win the semifinals to just meet back up again. And both of these teams, they had the same record in the group as almost every team had for some reason. I didn't know how that was mathematically possible, to be fair.
It happened though, and now it's only 2 teams, 6 players left. We started, of course, with plenty more teams. We had 6 teams, a group, 12 teams total, of course, making 36 players, but there's only 6 remaining, and those 6 will play for the title here and now. They want to become Yu-Gi-Oh! History by becoming world champions in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel category.
Yes, indeed.
La categoría de Master Duel.
Ever world champions in Master Duel, following on from Snipe Hunters and Team 7 and the legacy.
Ellos sobrevivieron tanto al grupo de Snipe Hunter, el de Joshua Smith, y el de Team 7 de Jesse Button. Así que técnicamente están altísimos.
You're absolutely right about that. We are moments away from having the big finals of the Yu-Gi-Oh! WCS in Master Duel. Right now, we've seen Malice, we have seen Ryziel, we've seen Memento as first decks. What are we going to see this time?
We've seen Atlantean Mermail finally make an appearance here for Luca.
Atlantean Mermail puede tener su aparición después de casi una chingadera de años. Set 1, empezó el juego.
Set 1, Ragnarok versus Chibacorp.
And we have the crowd going
final,
on. We have the
final.
special final animation here in
Esa animación final solo exclusivo para
who is going to win this final as we see here in the battle between
Joey contra Mist. Rising. Impulse. Empezamos fuerte. Seventacchio se añade a Explosion, dice no.
Joey really does not want to see Miss going here, and when you activate the 7th Tachyon, it's very likely there's no other
tiene 3
card
cartas en la mano, Joey.
Does this stop Miss
Puede tener
completely
X.
here?
7 Ascension. Se va a buscar otra 7 Tachyon, pero no va a poder jugarla. Cagó ahí. Lástima que 7 Tachyon solo puede jugar una vez por turno.
That is passing it over here, I think. End of main phase might be called here. Are we going to see something else from Joey? Is this a possible March hair angle?
We could see it. We see them thinking. We see in Duel B also. Pac again made the decision to bring
¡Turno!
Chris from deck.
Mientras tanto, en la partida de Pax.
He was the only player in the tournament even bringing it. And
Le tiró Lancea al hijo de puta.
We're going to see Artifact
Bien,
Lancea dropped.
A la partida de Miss le tiró Lancea diciendo,
two disruptions from the hand end the turn for the Ryziel of Mist, but it's Artifact Lancea.
Bien, Cristón está jugando Pax.
This malice from Joey.
And there is still, of course, here at Duel B, the turn of Pac going. We see it, Chris on the deck of choice. Pac, the man with all the royal rare.
Pax
He brings
está
back the
jugando.
Solvador, having 2 level 5 monsters here to go for the first Exceed summon of the
We
finals.
actually have Infernal Flame Banshee making a here in the Ryziel deck, but it gets
Se
Ash
tiró
blossomed here to stop him in
a la
his tracks.
Things happening left.
Cyberdragon Nova y se tira el Infinity.
But honestly, here in Duel
Pax
B, it
está
looks really,
bastante
really
bien.
good for Pac, as Lucas so far is not interrupting him at all, and I think we are about to also be summoning out these
Efecto de la magia Cristón, se la vanillea, puede invocar la formación de un
Yes,
Cristón del
indeed it
cementerio.
is, and it will soon be joined by the FA Dawn Dragster to shut
Especial
down
summon
the
en
spells
defensa.
and traps along with the monster
5,
effect.
6,
And
7.
suddenly Luca,
5 de
4
7.
cards in hand, and 3 of them you have to imagine at least will be disrupted.
Se hace el
And on the
Cristón
other side,
Eternis.
in Duel C,
Efecto
you can see
Eternis.
that Enzo has baited
Mientras tanto, la
out the
partida de Enzo, que le han negado la Banshee,
Ryziel Dual Drive is now
hace Dual Drive con Ryziel.
to the hand.
Yes, it will here, just to further extend. Enzo, now, the Banshee got
Ya gastó los
interrupted,
2
but still
materiales,
okay
o sea,
with
va
this
o
duo
busca
drive that
2,
you did
bien.
mention. Again, Nesh,
Busca Soul
usually that
Ryziel,
blossom for the 10
que
has no
más va a
further
añadirse.
disruption to give unless
We shall see.
Se añade
Honestly,
Int.
Enzo, still so young,
Se añadió
his
Int
third
y
World
a
Championship appearance,
Soul
he's
Ryziel.
already so
Efecto Soul
experienced.
Ryziel.
He baited
Se va a
Ash
añadir
Blossom
una
so
magia,
easily
atrapa
with the
de una
Banshee,
carta Ryziel,
tricking
se
Nash
añade
into
el
believing that there
Star.
was no more Ryziel cards available, but then he showed that there was
Desacopla
plenty more,
material
and we
para
now
invocar
have
a
the,
Int.
Star Ryziel being
Int,
summoned
efectos,
as well,
se va a
catching
buscar
Initiative from
una
the
magia atrapa Ryziel, colocar
Final Flame Banshee
el
is
ring,
nice.
el agujero.
Maybe think,
Bien, Battle Phase, 1500, 1800, 1700
that should be a decent amount, I believe.
y 2500 a la cara. GG. Enzo saca la primera partida por el equipo Chaibacore. Ok, un punto para Chaibacore. Ahora vamos, segunda partida entre Mist y Joey.
Holding the line against Mist, the Ryziel got a second turn here off of that Artifact Lancea.
The Royal Rare Lancea turns.
Ok, ese de recuerdo no lo esperaba para un Ryziel. Bien, X activa efecto para buscar.
Another card from Joey that can stop him, like the 2-card combination has in the first turn.
Señalas por
There is
Ryziel.
that Dawn
Bien.
Dragster we mentioned for the Crystron strategy. It's going to be
Hace
the
especial a
path
Soul
there.
Ryziel. Le va a
Three
permitir
negations
añadirse un
effectively
Pyro de
on the
luz.
table for Puck here.
Se va a añadir el
Honestly,
Spark.
throughout the tournament, it
Ah,
really
el
felt like
Ice.
Malice was running the show and was outperforming Ryziel. But we really here immediately in the first set of the final see Ryziel
Normal
going
line.
strong. Ryziel already winning in Duel C and also
Efectos, te
looking
puedes
really,
añadir,
really
te
good
puedes
here in
hacer
Duel
un
as well.
Impulse Summon de un
That is with a
Ryziel.
hard-drawn Artifact Lancea,
Hace,
despite the searches for it getting
espera.
disrupted, despite
Efecto, si invocado te puedes setear una base que atrapa el Raise del deck. Elige el campo, o sea, va directo para Raise Cross para poder tener negación asegurada. Bien, Raise Cross. Lo peor es que con... ¡Ah! Le jugó la MTP. ¡Ah! Bien. Se añade Malis. No hay Malis para activar efectos, así que... Bien, buen Rabbit. No, la...
expected a little bit after we have seen that toggle in the end of main phase of Mist in the first turn.
Especial
It's not going to provide an interruption.
Efecto para 300 para invocar a Rabbit. Efecto de Rabbit se va a añadir, va a iniciar un Malis del deck. O setea la magia. La ETST. Tenés que hacer exit ahora.
On the first turn, it would have played around the Lancea so nicely, so I feel like Joey is regretting not using that on the first turn now, and it's bringing him into the situation that he's in now, right now.
Enzo with a single infinite impermanence
Bien,
to try
2 de
and
4.
turn off some of these negations.
Tira double drive.
It doesn't look too promising. And
Bien.
now you have Puck considering whether or not
Se coloca un material desde el tacho, que es otro dual drive. Efecto por dual drive se va a...
Can chain the Triss Towers here, for example, to just summon from the deck. It could just negate the infinite impermanence straight up, so it's still looking really, really, really good for Pack, who's currently getting advice from his teammates on what to do.
Bien, va a tener que gastar 2 materiales por dual drive. Y así añadirse 2 cartas Rising. Se añade el Plasma Hole. Y él tiene que añadirse otra carta. El nodo se añade. Bien. Puede hacer Special Summon otro, o yo iría directo a Detonator con 3 materiales. Mientras tanto, la partida de Pack literalmente empieza a tirar Arioros Darkness. Está viendo si lo va a negar con Infinity. Tiene 3 cartas en mano. Tiene una carta boca abajo y 2 cartas en mano que aún no tiene conocimiento. Activa el efecto del Crystal.
And he chains the effect of Crystal Testaros here to the Allure of Darkness, making sure that we summon out another Crystal monster from the deck and then go on with a Synchro summon.
Might as well be Axel.
Mira vos.
Possible Baron de Fleur later on with the FA Dawn Drexler.
Synchro y bien, Axel Synchro. Ahora Ariore roba 2, vanicia 1. Rabbit paga. Activa efecto de Axel Synchro para tirarse un tuner del deck al tacho. Y cambia, aumenta o baja su nivel dependiendo de la cantidad. También hace una Axel Synchro. Axel Synchro. Synchro de 10. ¡Baronele Flu! ¡Sacle Blue! ¡La baronesa!
The White Rabbit, but I mean, there's also still 2 cards in hand
Activa
for
White
Pack.
Rabbit.
We know that this is his anti-Malice deck, so there could
Encadena
also
la
be a case
trampa
on
Crystal Crusade para aplicar efecto. Resolución, no pasa nada.
Playing around here a possible Lingo Rebo, which could negate the activation of a Crystron Cluster. So having it face up already, we can still use the effect later on in the turn, making sure though that the Lingo Rebo would never be a problem.
Smart. Also, the normal summon hasn't been committed yet by Luca, so immediately throwing.
Hola Viroku, ¿cómo has estado? ¿Todo bien? Vamos de vuelta porque se me había cortado por el tema de la lluvia ahora que se paró un poco. Volví.
On the field, so I doubt it's going to be that.
And despite the sheer amount of disruption on the field for Park, still Luca in this game, 4 cards in hand, a solid field starting to establish itself. Really testament to the power of the Malice deck.
Let's quickly go over to Dual A because I think Mist is about to close out that game.
Volviendo a la partida de Joy contra contra Miss. Ok, ya le limpió el campo, le pega en 7. Le va a pegar con Detonator y es GG. Un punto para Chaibacorp y un punto para Ragnarok. Mientras tanto, la partida de Pac está decidiendo si negarlo con Baronet o con Infinity. Ok, no dejó pasarlo. Está la Dormouse aún en Spanish. Efecto, va a pagar e invocarse de forma especial. Bien, efecto de Cruise Target. Selecciona un Crystal, lo devuelve al mazo y explota. Bien. No le ha dejado jugar con Dormouse. Así que le ha dejado poca interactividad de juego. Bien, Campo Malice. Tiene dos opciones, pero son potentes para negar. Oh no, se lo ha dejado pasar.
It's probably just better to let your opponent banish one of those Malice monsters, making sure that they have also used the effect of Chessy Cat in the banishment, and then leave them without any more effects that they can activate in the banishment. Oh, we do go from
La magia!
Here, though. Is that worth negating is the question here.
La magia para poder baniciar.
A card from the deck to the hand is going to search for maybe a Malice P Marcher. This card can extend like crazy. You could maybe normal summon a Chessy Cat if you have one. That would be super strong and then force a negate already.
Leo, designate.
Otra vez tiramos a Lyros Darkness.
Okay,
it does not stop.
Where would you commit the negations here, given the fact that this deck has to have choke points somewhere?
We have just already activated all of the negates for all of the banished monsters. So there's no real monsters coming from banishment anymore.
Okay.
But still,
Banisher.
no normal summon has been used. So I think at this point, you probably just wait for one of the Link Freeze. But sometimes those can be chain blocked when using their effect on the field.
Also, once they're on the field, they can just summon themselves.
Dejó el lure.
Being
¡No le tiró la TTT! Tiene que negar. Puede negarla con o Infinity o Baronet. Y ha elegido controlar. Bien, Infinity. Desacopla, niega. ¡No! ¡Metatronus! Se gastó las dos. Tiene que negar con Baronet. Tiene que negar con... ¡Nego con Baronet!
Pulls ahead. 4 cards in hand still for Luca. Is there a
¡Miércoles! ¡Se gastó todo! No se juega TTT y no se juega Metatronus.
Malice P Chessy Cat from the deck that hasn't been used yet. You can get your 2 monsters. Splash Mage is an option. We might as well just see an OTK here. Triple Allure of Darkness is absolutely crazy.
Efecto de Chessy Cat.
You just cannot stop
Es
that
especial.
deck, and that is what we see here. Drawing cards left and right, not stopping with that, and Luca looking locked in now.
¡Magnamos! Empezamos en el Enjay Bestial.
This is insane. Magnamut in the end phase is also
Esta
going
acción
to
tendrá
give you
consecuencias a
some follow-up
futuro.
if we even get an end phase here, because I think Luca is just about to win this game. Magnamut, of course, activating. Now going into a Link Decoder. Hold up. Are we going to see a Nibiru, the Primal, being on the side of Pac? Is that a chance?
Never rule that out, and we saw Team Chaibacorp having that card definitely in their lineup. Enzo resolved it multiple times in top 4. Joey, I think, also resolved it with one of his decks, being the Malice deck most of the time. So maybe there also is a singular Nibiru, the Primal, being in the deck of Pac. But what is that Link summon going to be? I would assume
Link
either
3.
White Binder or the Crypto, right?
Se invoca la Crypto Heart. La Heart Crypto. Encadena el efecto del Link Decoder. Link de 4, o Apollousa o Access Code Token. Dos opciones. Va por Access Code. Access Code toca. Bien, 53. 5300. Va a iniciar la Crypto Heart para romper uno. Adiós a Baronet. Ahora efecto de Crypto Heart. Pagas 900, se enfoca especial.
the destruction, and it will attack shortly after.
If you were
Battle
wondering
phase.
why Luca and his team
Uy, lo que va a doler eso.
from it here, he is in the process of breaking the entire crystal field. The crowd is going wild and loving
Bien,
it.
eso ya es GG.
Boyan is carrying his team Ragnarok here into a 2-1 lead in set number 1.
2 puntos para Ragnarok, 1 punto para Chivacor. Van así.
2 points on the board for
Bien,
Ragnarok.
van 1-1. El que va delantera ahora entre puntos es Chivacor.
And the crowd is equally so. Gotta love to see it. They're respecting the work that these players have put out throughout the entire year and now showcasing it here in style in the finals.
Very much so. Really well played, but still not a clean sweep. This is highly competitive and could be anyone's for the taking.
Calm down, Ibris. Still not a clean sweep.
Dos boss monster con Obnigate, básicamente.
Going into Allure. The craziest thing about Allure of Darkness is sometimes you negate that card and your opponent's like, thanks for giving me the free negate. That would have done nothing. But this time around, maybe if you negate the first Allure of Darkness, there's nothing to play with. You are going to find your breaking cards. You're going to find the talents. You're going to find Battletronics. Allure of Darkness is a card that can go incredibly crazy.
Yes, indeed, and I think that decision to let it go through will haunt Park for a while now, unless Chiba Corp are able to pull this comeback off.
Let's hope it doesn't haunt him for too long, because there is still, of course, set 2 and 3 to play. And as you said, they're absolutely not out of this just yet. They have only a 2-1 deficit to overcome, something that it could immediately make up for by just making it 2-1 now in set 2. And then we could hopefully, because that is what is the most fun, head into another 3rd set.
But listen, they have had the advantage here. They won 2 coin tosses already as opposed to 1, then immediately stopping Mist, but Mist had the Lancea. I think, is that even, I think that's the one of Lancea.
Y no hubo Lancea, así que sí pudo jugar en alrededor de eso. Es mucha ventaja lo que tenía.
You're playing versus Malice, which is very smart as well, because most of the time the captains play Malice, so it's going to be your first opponent most of the time, so you can basically be blinded.
Honestly, credit where credit is due, Mist actually was able to force the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring because the 7th Tachyon was assumed to be searching for that eventual Lancea, but as you mentioned, not necessary. It was there from the beginning.
It was an interesting sequencing though, right? Because he started with the 7th Tachyon while also having the 7th Ascension. So if he would have started with the 7th Ascension, maybe there's a chance they Ash that and then he can just resolve
Sí, creía que iba a tener oportunidad de añadirse otra vez 7 Ascension y hacer 7 Tachyon en...
guarantee you that this 7th Ascension would not be Ash Blossom. Just open yourself
Game 2.
Potential Drawland Lockbird.
Van por el juego 2 ahora.
Problem that would haunt you till the end of days. But now we're going into set 2 of the finals at the WCS in Paris.
Will it be a European team with Team Ragnarok, or is it Team Chiba Corp from North America becoming the world champions? We do have a Mulchami Purulia in the draw phase from Mist.
Tiró Purulia en la draw phase.
So far, and they seem to
Memento.
Effect Veil are also going to come through. Let's take a look at Dual C because there's a lot of interaction happening.
Mientras tanto la partida de Luca le tiran bait.
I think Joey is just really deep into
Malice
his combo
P.
already. Started off with the gold star.
Inicia el combo con Link Decoder.
The Chessicat, but there's not the Chessicat summon. There is
Tenía el Chessicat, vanishea, hace Special Summon, el otro roba carta.
Is Nash on his anti-Malice deck. We've seen
Efecto de Dormouse, hace Special Summon. Ok, Link 3 directamente. Van por la Red Queen.
Let's take a look at it in Dual A as it turns the
Malice Red Queen. Mientras tanto la partida de Joey. ¡Chao, Hunter! Ok.
to just deal with the Chaos Hunter. Sometimes
un poquito tarde la Chaos Hunter, pero justo en el momento necesario para poder joderlo. Ok, son los de Ragnarok están jugando otro paso. Los que están jugando Malice es el...
But even so, happy to see that Nesh is able to build some kind of a defense here. Let's take a look at Dual B though. We've looked across a few of them, but this is exciting.
There is a call by the Grave from Pack. So Pack did not care about Mulchami Purulia in the draw phase. Held his call by the Grave. Was like, I can live with that maximum
Memento Fusion.
the hand. anyways, but now the next thing
se invoca al Memento Lord. Encadena el efecto para descartar. Tiene. ¡Le tira a Baylor! Baylor en el momento justo.
Pack here because this is already an interruption on the opposing turn. Missed only at 3 cards, but whenever 3 cards
efecto de Memento Fusion va a vanishar, explota el bicho y va a poder añadir otra Memento Fusion. Otra magia de Memento. Después, con Memento Lord, lo puedes vanishar y añadirte Memento Clan. Se añade el campo y con eso va a poder jugar alrededor de Memento. Encadena Bind Point. Va a tener que romper una carta a la mano. Invoca de forma especial un Memento del cementerio.
So we are still in the motion. Pack has switched decks, but to those players, to these caliber of players here in the finals of World Championship, it seemingly doesn't matter what deck they play. They can switch left and right between deck and one, and they can perform perfect with each and one of them.
It's looking good in most duels again for Team Chiba Corp. Here, Pack is going off a big combo right here, Bone Party, but has to consider multiple things because 3 cents from the deck or the extra deck of the Creation King are already negated in dual A.
Ok, invoca Tsuchinoko y el otro puede jugar de Memento Clan, efecto de Tsuchinoko, explota. Va a poder hacer Special Summon un Memento del mazo.
Maybe the one carrying his team here this time around. He won that crazy third game in the first set and looks like he will continue to do so.
I see 2 Appaloosa Bow of the Goddesses on the duels, and it is ensuring that these players that are ahead will remain ahead for at least one more turn.
Tira otros 2 mementos al tacho, efecto de Memento Clan. Efecto encadena al Memento el no curibo.
So Pack is in a rather difficult spot, but if one player in
Special Summon, Memento Clan te permite invocar
multiple times, I think it's Pack.
Definitely, he has played this
a la bruja, efecto de la bruja, va a explotar al no curibo, encadena el efecto para poder hacer Special Summon otro Memento. Se añade a la mano la otra bruja. No, es el otro. El que le permite hacer Special Summon. Entre la bruja y el otro hacen al Memento Twin Dragon. Efecto Twin Dragon. Se ha usado como material, puedes invocar de forma especial un Memento, explotando este bicho. Por eso digo, intentar romper un Memento es una sentencia de muerte, básicamente.
Does he have anything else? If he's on the Ryziel, probably not. If he's on the Ritual Beast, probably not again.
But he has Perulia active, so maybe if Pack needs to summon out something else from the hand, there could be another draw for Miss, but I don't know what that could be. Mace is, of course, a nice setup later on. Did he already normal summon? Does he have to normal summon a Mace at this point? That would be crazy.
I'm pretty sure he normal summoned to start off his turn, so that is already out. But still, there could be plenty of ways to continue playing here. Actually, let's go over to Duel C because we have just had a really, really interesting chain resolving at table C. So let's see it. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit took care of Appaloosa. So this is maybe how Enzo is getting himself into this game there.
This is crazy.
A la bruja, efecto de la bruja, te puedes añadir un Memento
was probably targeting the Appaloosa, but now we are going to be able to resolve the Firewall Dragon. Look how lonely it is. It needs monsters that point to it and then it points to itself.
Tarjetea hasta rojo nivel 2, Memento serio, explota, invoca de forma especial la
WC setup to banish this White Binder or a Marcher to banish the White Binder.
Efecto, cuando es destruida por batalla, tú te puedes añadir otro Memento.
Even if Duel C is not going by way of the player right now,
no, al Memento Combustion. Mientras tanto, en la partida de Enzo, literalmente tiene contra un Access Code Token teniendo a Ryziel.
And he will try to keep it going here for his team and his teammates.
Okay.
Enzo is just going for Access Code Talker on his first turn, I assume.
Selene.
To get rid of all of the follow-up that Mesh set up. So eventually it's...
Link 2, Laina.
Let's take a look at Duel A because it looks to be heating up in favor of Joey here.
¡Oh! Esa ya está ganada. Tiene un Access Code y una Polusa con 2 materiales. Mientras tanto, Nash tiene solo 2 cartas en mano. Bien, efecto de Single Deploy. Se regresa el Single Deploy Snake Eyes. Al mazo, al fondo, roba una carta. Activas Castiogénesis, encadena Ash Blossom. Ok, ya tenemos jugada con eso. Vea, si le sale la jugada como yo lo estoy pensando, puedes chorar el Sexus Code.
Action across the board here, and again, as you said, we don't often see the Malice deck play
Está jodido.
Rather, we don't often see the Ryziel deck play
Bien, de esos dos de 4, apilar a Ice y a Sword. A invocar a Dual Drive, efecto Dual Drive. Desacoplará 2 unidades para buscarse 2 cartas Ryziel.
Also works somewhat with breaking potential on your own turn. We saw the Ghost Ogre just basically take.
Creo que lo que va a querer es más para detonar.
Dealing with the returning Malice monster by negating the GWC.
You mentioned a returning Malice monster. Well, I just watched one return in Duel A. Let's take a look at Duel A because it does seem like this is the end phase and this will be the end of the game in favor of Chiba if Joey can pull this off.
Se va a morir.
We have seen Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion on multiple decks. Pac has used one to win the semi-finals against G-Nets. It was absolutely crazy. G-Nets playing perfectly and then getting this Momentotlin fusion. Ghost Bell, boom! And
Ghost Mansion!
On the side of Enzo, it is absolutely crucial. Maybe they're all playing one.
Yeah, I think they just mixed it up, and I think that's a cool approach to the whole situation. When you just have
con Red Queen se roba una carta, se revela que es Malice y termina es el turno de Joy. Joy literalmente ganó esta partida. Efecto.
Dormouse is going to banish a March Hare from the deck just to gain some extra. Oh,
Banish a Rabbit, Paddle Face, esto es partida.
Going to attack here with the
200.
Will be Joey evening of the series against Ragnarok.
5300 y 2900. Partida GG well played. Bien, 2 puntos para Chiba Core. Y ahí están empatados entre Chiba Core y Ragnarok. Mientras tanto se están enfrentando.
Mist could not really do anything about the field that Pac presented him with, and therefore it is back to him here, and we will be able to just try to play. And as we are in turn 2, clearly we already have the battle phase, but we still can set up a huge field.
Yep, the Angwitch in the hand now, the single card for Puck. Is there any kind of disruption that will come his way, or does he clear this one out?
It's still Mist's turn.
That's what I thought, yeah. Just there I was realizing this gotta be Mist's turn, as obviously Pac was the one comboing on the first turn. That is a clear sign when you always only see one monster to be used for an Exceed summon. It usually is, and it also here in that case.
Oh, saca el Typhon. Roba 1, efecto de Typhon, te sacó el material. Va a seleccionar el bicho, el Memelor para negar. No, para devolverle extra. Y lo puede negar con... Puede negar con la... devolvió a la Polusa. Pero si ya no tendría nada, se quedó 2 y termina. Uy, jodida la partida. Mientras tanto, la partida de Luca, le dio vuelta y eso que le tiró ni... Uy.
But now after full combo, Luca of course drew cards with Chessy Cat as well. Must have found a Nibiru, the primal being at some point, and now is going to combo through here, is going to make sure that this time he can't be stopped after this turn. And this might be game for Luca here versus Enzo. Tried his best, looked like he was going to steal it away from Luca, but he says, nah, I have my Malice deck. This is the best deck in the room. I will will show you why.
And Luca will, if he does take this, take back the lead for Ragnarok here. Can he end this duel right now? Still a 3,800 defense token to deal with.
I'm sure we can deal with that, and maybe in the end.
Team de 4, Access Code toca.
Long is still holding true. He told
Perfecto,
everyone,
Access Code.
if you go first with Malice, whatever
Va a romper ese token y es partida. Eso dejaría un punto a favor más para Ragnarok.
3 for Access Code Talker really goes to show once the combo gets to the point where you can climb into this, it is pretty much game over. And it will be game over for Enzo here as Luca takes this
y es partida.
The final blow with Malice White Binder here.
Bien, son 3 puntos. Ahora tienen 3 puntos Ragnarok y Chivacor 2.
Still a superstar slayer Sky Crisis Typhon that is sitting there.
Esa está más jodida. Más jodida la partida.
Puck is just only playing versus 2 set cards.
Indeed, and 8,000 points of damage already on the table for Puck if these attacks can connect. Is there a way to get Akihiron in the game now?
So the Akihiron already just there used his graveyard effect to grab back a memento card from the graveyard to the hand, and it was Memento Infusion. Either the Akihiron, as we just get back into this game, was on the field and already used its effect to make direct attacks happening for our Tikutliga monsters, or it was destroyed from the hand. So we will have to find out whether that is the case or not. Is there an Akihiron activation in the graveyard here? Maybe.
Mensaje del presidente de la República de Francia, Macron, digo, ¿cómo le decimos que el tipo
favorite memento monster, as it's also his icon.
Oh, did Gatic just target the Akihiron to add it back to the hand? I think that's a good home party target. So you can destroy it then, but then you would have to summon it back later. But I think at this point it's not even necessary. But of course, you can just go for Dark Blade. I thought we were going to discard the Akihiron, but we're clearly not. Just discarding Tatsuno Otoshigo to play around a Caught by the Grave. The Plasma Hole is not doing anything against an army of Mementotlins and a cute sheep.
Yep, and we had looked at Ryziel as being ahead of the pack bar Malice, and that included Memento.
Okay. Access Code usando un Link 2.
Ended 2 games
encadena en el momento justo antes de que encadene el efecto de la invocación.
More of a desperation play once again, though, from this side. Yes, we can surge with Ryziel's sword here, but that Ryziel, that X-Ryziel in the hand, will not do anything anymore this turn. Hold on, though. We could not really use
Access Code, va a vanishar Selene, va a romper. Bien, destruye. Efecto Access Code, vanishea, rompe otro. Con Crush.
This looks like 10,300 damage to me. We're going into the battle phase, attacking with 3.
Esto está reñido, carajo. Están a 3 versus 3. Una última ronda más y se termina. Está re. Esto está re reñida. No es joda.
Tell just yet who's going to make it. Of course, now it's going to come down to who plays who. What are the matchups? What are the decks even being picked by the players? Everything on the line.
Will we finally see Joey's second deck, or is it Malice all the way through? These are your best duelists in the world, and they are showing you exactly why they got that reputation and exactly why Group A was so competitive with both of these teams in it.
All right, everyone. We are here in Paris live for the YuGiOh WCS Master Duel Finals 2025. Paris, cheer for your finalists. Who is here for Chivacor?
Oh, crowd going wild, but of course, do we also have some fans for Team Ragnarok in the booth?
Actually, that sounds like Chivacor might be the favorites, despite Ragnarok having the home field advantage here in Europe.
I think they were just cheering so much they didn't hear you there. Can we get it one more time for Ragnarok?
Va una más para Ragnarok.
Okay. Crowd is going wild. You see the shot here of our venue. We have a beautiful venue, players on the stage, and of course, now is where the pressure is so high. They are sitting there realizing we will only play 3 more games of Master Duel today, but these 3 games will be the most important ones of the entire weekend, maybe of their entire life, as they are games for the World Championship.
Para World Championship, ya vamos por...
Performed so well across the course of the weekend so far. We've seen them perform so well today. Throughout the past year, we're looking back as well. Just these are legends of their respective scenes. TCG, Master Duel, Europe, North America, they've been all around the world, even to Japan in the case of Mist, Herman Hansen, and I believe also Enzo Fialos as well.
Absolutely. And they realize that title is up for grabs. It's so close for both of them, and both teams have the absolute chance and right to grab the title now, maybe. And we want to see who is going to become the world champion, the team that is going to
La última jugada, la tercera parte, la final de la final. 2 con 2 partidas, un equipo. ¿Quién ganará? ¿El equipo Ragnarok o Chivacor? Hoy se define. Inicia Memento. Pac inicia con Memento. Encadena Kuka. ¡Es Memento Party! ¡Ash Blossom! ¡Vamos gastando el todo o nada, Nash! ¡Va con todo o nada! ¡Va con todo o nada! Special Summon roba carta.
The Malice, but it is Memento that is currently suffering at the hands of
Nash está a full ahora.
Just looking at it, because there is no sign that this might not be a Memento mirror match. On the other side, we have a almost full Ryziel combo here by Enzo.
Indeed, Enzo has been showing some great spirit here in the finals, winning in the first set, in the second set, almost doing it against Luca, and now winning the coin toss here in this dual C against Mist as well.
Yep, looking at this, you're seeing just extension after extension with no punish thus far. And of course, we do also have a Malice in the mirror match taking place in your other dual.
Bueno, dual drive.
Está
jugando Enzo. Está jugando el Ryziel, pero en esta ocasión sí va a tener que. Es turno 1.
If your Malice player gets to full combo and just draw 2 more cards and gets to extend even further, this might as well be game over for you. But it also never really feels great because it doesn't stop the combo.
Apila 2 de 4. Va por el dragón, el Galactic. Claro, vas a comprar del Galactic para buscar. Esa no es mala, esa es una muy buena idea.
Is he bringing Lara to the finals of the World Championships? We're seeing a Plasma Hole being added here for a
Nodo Ryziel.
Field node is going to be added as well. Are we discarding something? I would assume.
Efecto de nodo va a ser descarta una carta de su mano. Va a invocar Ryziel, invoca su Ryziel.
Most of the times I won't even say those Ryziel players do not even go for Ryziel Detonator at the moment, but they rather go for.
Bien, 2 de 4. Va por Detonator. ¡Babushka! Vamos con Babushka a detener todas las jugadas posibles.
Enzo and Mist is heating up, but look how many cards in Duel B Nesh is getting in terms of value from this Max C.
Oh yeah, Pac has made the decision to
to
the Max C. Let's see how that works out.
One thing I found really interesting is the Ash Blossom on the Bone Party, because that could mean a multiple amount of things. So if you Ash Blossom the Bone Party, you want to guarantee that you get some draws from the Tatsuno Toshigo because you don't want it to be destroyed. You might not have any starters. You want to get those draws in, but it also means that if your opponent has his own Maxine, then you might not have Ash as an answer.
Another draw going through, and another one off of this 1-4-1, but that just goes to show how much priority Park is putting on setting up a field here, and how much potentially he acknowledges that Nesh is not piloting something that can break open a field that easily.
Oh, look at Dual C. There's Harpy's Feather Duster activated by Mist right here. Is on a good way to break this field, but wait a second. Crossout Designator in the mirror match. Such a dangerous card. What are we choosing here?
Enzo basically can choose between all of the Ryziel cards, and if Mist has that Ryziel monster in his hand, he will not be able to use that for the rest of the turn. Triple Tactic Talents, though, also really good card to call there.
Yep, means that the Baguska will not change sides, means that none of these monsters will change sides.
But how is he going to activate Triple Tactic Talents? I did not see a card being activated so far. Maybe there was another hand trap being used by Enzo.
There is a material detached there.
Yeah, that was in the first turn from the Ryziel Duo Drive that detaches from the Starlight Photon, so you have more material on the Duo Drive to have more attack on the Photon Dragon, so nothing can be targeted indeed. But also in Dual A, Luca is still in the combo. But after seeing the semifinals, I'm getting a little worried when I see slow Malice combos.
Yep, absolutely.
Mist also, it looks like he is thinking about his own, but you could see him going left and right. I think it was more so about him giving advice to both of his teammates, because his next
7 Ascension.
And that is 7th Ascension.
Se añade 7 Tachyon. Seguro que va a servir 7 Tachyon ahora. 7 Tachyon. Tiene que deshacerse del Bagushka primero. Se añade Resin. Está re presionado en esta situación.
Control hand-wise, but has nothing on the field because he hasn't had a turn yet.
Absolutely, and you may expect the next Ryziel to solid challenge Baguska, but
es un desafío con el Ryziel del Bagushka.
Cannot be targeted due to the Starlight Dragon.
Are we just Baguskaing back on the side of Mist?
Maybe, or we just summon out
a pila 2 de 4.
Also a Ryziel Detonator when the Baguska goes into attack.
Van por Ryziel Detonator, pero Ryziel Detonator está detenido por el Bagushka.
Let's take a look at Dual B though, because it looks like Park
se tiene una carta. Mientras tanto Pac contra ese peli del Knight. Está ahí. 2850, 1600, 2400. Va a invocar el Mementolor. Aceptó el Maxis Challenge.
And Memento all facing off depending on what Nesh is playing here.
7-1, 7-otro, 7-3, vas. Memento Clan envía setea una Memento del cementerio.
So what is left here for Nash? It's certainly a big amount of cards in hand, but which will be the ones that he can.
Indeed, what is left here for Nash? Apparently 28 or so.
Buku Eclipse! Damn!
Good start, but it is not the best. There's SP Linlight and there's Appaloosa above the goddess. I think that Puck has found the solution for the best field versus Book of Eclipse, even though it is still.
Solo tiene que se le va a colocar el Dragon Combustion y el otro Memento. La Little Knight y Appaloosa se quedan boca arriba.
Book of Eclipse. Those book cards in general have been very impactful here throughout the entire tournament, and here we have
la tienen complicada, muy complicada.
Considering that he did encounter 2 disruptions, this is a phenomenal field from Puck.
It is, but also, I mean, yes, the Book of Eclipse, I agree with you, Leo, is not super impactful, but still, Nash can afford to have such low-value trades when you have like 1 million cards in hand.
Yeah. The next thing I'm wondering about is why didn't we chain the Bone Party here? Because we could have easily added a Sleepy and then to eventually go into a Twin Drag, destroy that one, get some more resources, add more resources to the hand, and then you would have had the chance to use your fusion that is set to go into the Combined Creation King.
And this game in particular seems to be all about the especially those in the hand of Nesh right now. We're going straight to battle.
Va para battle. Va directo a Paddle. Viene Evely Match. Se viene Evely Match. ¡Evely Match! Nash, Memento Party. La peor opción que pudo haber hecho. Activar Memento Party es. Lo que vaya a hacer, igual. Para evitar que el Memento se vaya. Entendible, es entendible.
Destroyed. This card is going to get you another monster, the Anguish, get you more resources, and you still have interruptions plus Appaloosa. In the meantime, in Duel A, we did see
Tiene que invocar un Memento que no quiere ver de nuevo.
Come in to try and save the day for Joey here in that Malice Mirror, but Luca in full control. Duel C though, it looks to be the end of the game coming soon.
Indeed, Enzo and his YuGiOh deck just keeps on.
Y Enzo pega. Enzo ya gana esta partida, gana esa partida. Y Enzo gana la partida. Un punto para Chayvacor. Esto ya es un peligro para. Tiene que ganar dos. Ragnarok si quiere ganar. O una sola Chayvacor y ganan. Están a punto de ganar Chayvacor solo por una partida. El todo o nada, literal. Este es el todo o nada, gente.
You activated to stop the Anguish from searching and to negate the Appaloosa. Does he have nothing left? What are you going to negate with the Appaloosa? There's a bazillion cards in the hand of Nesh Tatsuno Otoshigo. I think that's an easy way to start negating. But is there maybe triple?
Eso por remontar con dos negaciones. Estamos ahí a nomás.
We have bodies now.
We have not negated the Tatsuno Chichogo, and now Nash is revealing once more. This is not only any Memento deck, but this is Goblin Biker Memento.
Goblin Biker Memento.
Across the board, YuGiOh versus YuGiOh, Malice versus Malice. It's Memento.
Esto es Rising versus Malice versus Malice.
Goblin Biker. That is the Nash difference, and it seems to be paying off right now.
Link Request. Link Request, man. Anima. Bien. Le va a quitar el efecto. Ok. Seguimos intentando. Trust. Una partida de Ragnarok. El todo o nada. Ragnarok contra Chayvacor. Solo uno va a ganar. ¡A la mierda! Controla la Appaloosa con 1600 de ataque. Tiene solo una oportunidad. Tan cerca y pueden ganar. Ragnar puede ganar esta partida. Deben mantener esa presión y explotarla.
To do so, and Nash was happy about it as he kept on collecting cards, but we're able to break the
Link de 2 se van por Cruship. Memento Fusion.
And so he has triple tactics frost in his deck. Fun fact, he even has dimensional barrier in his deck as a target to set going first.
The match is also a very good triple tactics thrust target. So setting
Memento Twin Dragon o el Overlord. El Overlord va.
Whatever he wants. And also I think what's pretty fun, I think we might see Appaloosa link into Appaloosa.
Triguea Cruship. Triguea Memento Lord.
Also using the effect of the
Ay, Dios mío, ya estamos acá nomás. Terminar esta partida. Ya estamos acá nomás. Ya queda una más y gana.
To Nash's advantage here. Park, he took
Crosship
the
roba
challenge,
carta.
he pressured his lead, but Nesh struck back.
And I think he's going to be able to extend 4 days here, but the timer is still an issue. We have seen this tournament, and Memento is infamous for being a deck that can lose to the timer. You have the combined, you have the Creation King there that is going.
No.
Later on.
Ahí voy a tener que refrescar porque ya estamos ahí nomás para que termine. Va a ganar el Memento, pero va a ser...
On the follow-up turn, but Pac really needed that card to strike back.
I think Nesh does have access to the access code Talker, however, so if
Tiene acceso para hacer un access code.
you will still get one to close this out if you need it.
Un access code y gana. Memento Clan.
But it's more of a Barks doesn't bite situation in this one. Memento Clan. Hard draw is of course a little bit iffy, but if you have drawn 25 cards with Maxi, that is going to be fine. Appaloosa is being linked away, I think.
Lo hizo. No, fue por Little Knight. No va a poder atacar directo si activa el de Little Knight.
And we are still going to get one more turn from Park, so there's still a chance depending on what he draws on the next turn. As you said,
hermano, podías haber hecho un access code, pegaba y ganabas.
Continues to push, continues to establish his field, and continues to
está flexiando. Nash, no flexees, por favor. Por poco ya ganas.
We are so close to summoning out everything that we've ever wanted. Prioritizes the sleepy body on the field as well here, just to be able to go into an Appaloosa later. Because you have 20 cards in hand, but you can't always go all to the field, so I think fusing from hand is absolutely valid here.
Oh, and now after using the Appaloosa of Pac there on our side, linking it up and now rounding it up with our very own Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess. And this one will...
Oh.
Yes, indeed it will, and it stays with 3 disruptions available.
3 disrupciones.
Well, putting all of these cards to good use, not having to discard at the end of the turn because he's used all of those Maxi cards.
Ahora las cartas que va a tener que tener por el Maxi y no va a robar. Ok, tiene 2, 4, 5, 6. Jodido, muy jodido de esta partida. ¡Appaloosa! Salvado, primera Appaloosa. Negar. Puede seguir negando. Tiene solo 3 triggers de negación con eso. ¡Es partida! ¡Es partida! Puede. Normal al Curibo.
Normal summon Gatic is a play here.
La Memento Fusion se busca. Appaloosa para negar. Resolución negado. Hola Zuno, ¿cómo estás? Pues ¡acabó! Zuno, estoy testeando multistreaming. Esto es partida, esto es partida, esto es partida. Nash, va a invocar el Combustion. Devuelve 5, invoca de forma especial desde el mazo un Combustion. El cemento. Es partida. 5K, 4450 la cara. Pega, 2850. GG, well play, por favor. Ragnarok gana. Ganó el Team Ragnarok. Está bien, está bien. Bien, tranquilo, genial, porque el Chutu morado se me centraba mucho. No hay drama. Igual fue un testeo. A ver, tengo ganas de volver a hacer streaming en YouTube.
They're ready to lift the trophy. Give it up for your new world champions, Ragnarok.
Se lo merecen, se lo merecen. Los chicos acaban de
Nesh is being a good sport and bringing the opposition on for the celebration. Give it up for your finalists as well.
Chaiba Corp peleó bien, pero aquel hábil jugador gana. En esta gana el hábil jugador. Y Dios mío, sí que fue larga.
You guys are now the third ever YuGiOh Master Duel Champions. You're walking in the footsteps of Snipe Hunters and Team 7, and now Ragnarok will go down in the history books as world champions. How does it feel?
Next year to Japan, baby!
Que la próxima sea en Japón. Que la próxima sea en Japón otra vez.
Now, obviously, you guys are so happy to be here. You are world champions, but are there people you would like to
A ver, estaban aislados. No, el sobaco apestoso aquí no se aplica. Esto es Master Duel.
Joy, Ryan, all the
Para la gente,
incredible to be up here with my teammates. They are
mis
friends,
compañeros y mis amigos.
They are my teammates. They are beautiful human beings. And thank you for Konami for allowing this. Like, it's so good. Like, it actually feels insane, man.
特に感謝を伝えたい方は、ジョイさん、ライアンさん、そして友達のみんな、チームメイトのみんな、そしてこれまで関わってくれた
Vamos, me gusta el Master Duel competitivo como se toma. Que sea así por equipos, me encanta.
So what Nesh said, like we mostly prepared with Chiba Corp.
Ay, estuvo buenísimo.
Ryan, Quantul, and Emre. So those are the people we would like to shout out mostly.
私もチャイバコープの方や他のライアンさんや他のお友達にも感謝を伝えます。
¡Ganó Ragnarok! Pero se mandaron la tremenda jugada de su vida para poder hacerlo. Literalmente flexearon a Polusa. Flexió a Polusa solamente porque el otro estaba jugando Memento y robó el Kuribo. Le negó eso y terminó ganando. Porque después invocó el Combustion. ¡Ay, Dios mío! Mis felicitaciones. Fue hermoso. Gracias, Christian. Chris, que ha sido el que los carrió a la partida. Literal, tenés el gordo que es técnicamente Thor, el flacucho que es Loki, y tenés al del medio que es Odin. Bueno, te veo más tarde, tengo que tomar un autovisaje. Dale, cuídate, aunque ya vamos a terminar.
Salieron 3 anuncios. ¿Puedes repetir, Chairo?
Que ganó el Team Ragnarok, pero de una manera muy abusiva. Literalmente flexearon a Polusa para ganar. Y después ganó.
Ganó Ragnarok.
Sí. Odio tener dos ojos. Está bien. Bien. Ay, Dios, estuvo buenísimo. Estuvo buenísimo. A ver, en las que hemos visto anteriormente, que han sido las de las rondas normales. Ya vamos a charlar. Las rondas normales han estado a full. Y eso es lo que ha hecho que todas las partidas han estado muy buenas, muy dinámicas, muy agresivas. Y aunque algunos estaban repitiendo 2 de 3 mazos, aquí la habilidad del jugador la tiene. Y eso es algo que me ha encantado. Bueno, gente, yo me voy a terminar de streamear. Gracias a la gente que me acompañó en este experimento y a los de TW. Vamos a raidear a Gumi, porque yo ya me tengo que ir y ha estado entretenido. Muchas gracias, gente, por acompañarme y les deseo lo mejor. Gracias por pasar. Yo soy
Y como testando lo de los olores, se nota que es un lugar climatizado.
Es Francia, ¿qué esperás? Es Francia, hay gente que ya sabe de estos temas. Bueno, ahora sí, gente, nos vemos mañana para TCG. Vamos a tener los octavos y los final. Voy a ver si, vamos a ver cómo va a terminar. Y muchas gracias por acompañarme. Y en el experimento también gracias a Zuno. Nos vemos, gente. Hasta la próxima. Bye bye.